This car is here for this. We have no clue what it is, but we're going to find somewhere to put this. Two main things we're going to do to it. One is a updated oil pump. There is I guess a weakness in the oil pump. It's one that Liv and I offer with upgraded gears. I'm just being silly there. This is a 2016 Mustang GT. It's here for a Supercharger kit. One of the weak points is this, so to be a little bit proactive on the safety measure, we're doing this before we do the Supercharger. So here we are, we'll get ready to start removing the components. The oil pump is actually located right behind the crank pulley, very similar to how a GM LS motor is set up. The Coyote motor has timing chains, so obviously the timing chains have to be removed, and the hoses and accessories before we get down there. Quite time consuming, but definitely good, reliable upgrade and a little bit of peace of mind for supercharging this motor. Segment is not sponsored by Wawa, but if you want it to be, you know how to get a hold of us. And we do accept snacks too, by the way. 3.1.
Alright, we definitely want that one.
So, here's the question to you folks. There's two pulleys in the kit. A 3.3 and a 3.1. The question is, how fast can we put the 3.1 on the blower? Just to get all the Mustang jokes out of the way, this is the only time you can stand in front of a Mustang is when it's off the ground. Any other time, do not stand in front of them. You don't stand behind the horse, and you don't stand in front of a Mustang.
You ever see one of these coming at your duck?
Look at that. Now this looks kind of like a turbo, doesn't mean it's a turbo. I've seen people post on our channel. We'll put a picture of a Kraftwerk Supercharger, and this looks kind of like the same way as the Kraftwerk Supercharger. This is not a turbo, and it's not a supercharger either. This is the belt-driven intake manifold. It's a Magnuson kit, by the way. Hopefully this thing makes power, because it's pretty heavy. I don't want to guess, but I'm guessing that's 80 pounds. This is provided with the kit. This is the heat exchanger. The kit is based on a water-to-air intercooler, which means it pumps fresh water. It's a separate water system from the radiator. A lot of people seem to want to tap it into the radiator. It's not. That'll run hot water. Basically, it runs through this, through a pump which is supplied with the kit right here, and then through the intercooler itself, which is inside this plenum. These are the water hoses that are going to pass water through there, and it runs through a core inside this plenum. I don't know if you can quite see this. I just showed you the heat exchanger here. We're making a few changes to the kit just because we like to clean things up. These are some of the hoses that they supply, and they tell you to, you know, kind of cut and splice 90s together, and then there's also a plastic 90. Well, the way that the book says this wants to be on here, you cut a hole through this, you bend this hose around here, and then you put a 90 going up into the pump, and you know, this is you know, prone to kink, even though it's a nice gradual curve. So we're going to make a change. We're going to shorten this up. The pump is basically right behind this little piece here. This is pointing on a 45-degree angle. We're going to go straight back here. So as you can see right here, this is the discharge from the pump. It makes a nice straight shot. We're going to put the molded 90 that they supply. It's going to fit there, go right into the cooler, and the rest of the hoses are going to be coming from up top. So this is a two-person job. You feeling strong?
No.
Should we get the engine lift?
Probably.
Hopefully this makes power because it weighs a ton. Yes?
Eggs every morning.
What is is it, about a 1/2 inch extension?
Look at the plug. It's opposite. It doesn't plug into the solenoid.
Oh, the
square part's on the opposite side.
so it looks like the right plug, but it's the wrong plug.
Yeah, exactly. But this part here is round on both sides, so it'll plug in either way. So if I can depin it, swap them, that'll make it work.
Just make sure. So it's all that, so it doesn't matter which polarity it is.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put them the same way on angles.
Just in case.
Just.
See, everyone makes mistakes.
Everybody has those days.
Even the guys that build it. Alright, so a quick update on the pulley. We spoke to Illinois about this, and they recommend run the 3.3, double check it, make sure the AFRs are okay, and if we're comfortable, switch it to the 3.1. So that's what we're going to do, even though we kind of joked about it. Baby steps. We always like to be on the safe side. We like to err on the side of caution. So we're going to run this with the 3.3, make sure everything's happy. We're going to do some boost logs. We have the ability to overlay the boost versus horsepower and torque and air fuel, so we can also see where the boost is. So we'll show you that on the dyno, but there is a port on here we can hook up to our dyno, and that'll be kind of a nice addition. Is it a yeah or nay?
No, that doesn't go on back on anymore.
No bar?
Nope, no bar.
No bar. Barless. So this had the windstorm intake on it, and it's definitely changed. This is a piece that they supply with the kit. You use this box, and they give you this that is to bolt in here, which is the mass air housing, and then they give you a big 90. So you're supposed to trim this 90 until it fits there, and as you see, it's slightly less than a 90. It's maybe an 80-degree bend, and it's very, very tight. One of the things I was looking at, and George noticed, is the box actually opens up to here. So that is the inlet of the box. I stick my hand in there, and that's the air. So it actually draws its air from there. And looking at the bumper, bring me over to here. This is the grill, and this is the air inlet right here. I see these little honeycomb things. There's literally almost six full ones, and it's blacked off over here. So George is going to give this a shot, and if it works, it'll look fantastic, and if it doesn't work, we'll come up with some system to make it look good. But anyway, we're going to open this up so we have more airflow through here, get more airflow to the box. Let's see what we got. George is fairly confident, which means it should look pretty good. Look at that.
It's a couple more than 6 now.
Yeah, that looks like factory done it. We should do a how-to and put it on the Mustang website. One thing we'll notice is the intake temperature is completely way off from what it should be. In fact, it says negative 18 degrees, so we know that's not right. We live in Florida. So the kit does give you a whole bunch of these. So I don't know if you're supposed to use them all and wire them all together, or put one in the car and put 2 in your pocket. Anyway, of course the plugs are different, so they do supply pins and everything like that. So we're going to repin the harness that picks up the air temp sensor, and hopefully this is the correction for it, because negative 19 is going to tell the computer to, you know, don't fuel. So we don't want that. So this is next step. We'll see if this fixes it. We just have to crimp the pins on here, and just to be extra secure, we're soldered them too. Ford have like a designed plier for this that pinches these. It grips the outer insulation of the wire and squeezes pretty tight. Alright, I'm plugged in if you want to test it. Guessing it should be somewhere around 78, 80 degrees. 68?
Yeah.
That's closer than minus 14, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, looking at the thermostat on the wall, it is about 74 in here, so it's probably somewhere close to that. Might have to give it a second to kind of calibrate itself. So there's the sensor. It basically relocates the sensor that would have been in the mass airflow and runs it so it's actually picking up air intake temp, so the computer can actually make decisions based on air intake temp. So that's what we need to do. We need to remove that rail, get that sensor out, put the new one in there. Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind, got it.
I should tag Magnuson in this. Guys, whatever you're using to put that sensor in, or whatever stupid plastic sensor you guys are using, I'd recommend you don't. This is terrible. If you ever have to service this, you catch it?
Yeah, I got it.
If you ever have to service this, it's not going to be fun. You hold it out. There, we managed to get the shell of it out right there. Look at that. Alright, we're about 2 hours on now, and all because of that guy right there. So, we're back together. We'll start it back up, we'll verify that temperature and see what it says, and hopefully we can start moving on rather than wasting time over a sensor. What are we showing?
82. That's got to be a lot closer.
That's better than minus 14.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're on the dyno. We're just setting up, we're hooking up various leads. Like we talked about, we can log the boost. So the port back there, I don't know if I did show you, but there is a port. We can tap into that and read boost on our dyno. This car was previously dynoed here. This is the graph. This was on E85. It has a Live-N-Ice tune and a intake is what this had. So 418, 386, and it was on a stock exhaust at the time, but just an intake and a tune and E85. So that's actually pretty strong. That's a good setup. So we have a nice ballpark and a baseline. So we'll go from here. Alright, that was a partial run. We only took it to about 5,000 RPMs. Just want to make sure the air fuel ratio is good, and it is. It's sitting at 11.8, so we're super happy with that. So we're going to do a full run now and log the air fuel, and then we'll determine what we're going to do with that pulley, and also we'll look at the boost, see where we're at. So here we are. Our final number is 584 and 490, and that is a very smooth graph. Look at that usable torque curve. And also what's impressive is look how good the air fuel ratio is. We could more than likely run that 3.1 pulley, but after talking to the customer, he said, well, that's more than what he was expecting, so why push it? Right here, this is showing our boost graph. Right here, the analog 4 input is what we are running for boost. Right there, it shows a peak of 9.7. So another Mustang we have here. This is actually one of our past customers. He used to have an S2000. Now this is his new car. It's a GT 350. This one's pretty much brand new. It's actually here for its first oil change. So I'm sure this customer is going to be modifying it. I know he has in the past. This is a nice looking car. I like this a lot. This is an S2000 that's here just for a differential change and basically to check it out. It's got a little bit of a noise in the diff. I'm going to drain the fluid, take a look, see what's going on with that. This is the V8 S2000. If you look on our channel, you'll see we've done a 4-part series on this, and car is done. Customer is due to pick it up actually on Friday. He's flying into town. He's going to pick this up, drive around with it, get a feel for it, and then I believe he's putting it on a train and taking it home. This is my Z06. Don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but somebody backed into my truck. So it is at the body shop right now, getting the tailgate fixed and bumper and tail light. So poor me, I'm getting to drive my $1 million car. My payments for the next 6 years car. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But we found out what the noise is on the S2000. Where's this wheel? See that?
Wow.
See how stiff this wheel is?
Mm-hmm.
You hear that? Hear that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Whoa. Wow.
There's the noise. I really appreciate the feedback we get from you guys. As you see, we really enjoy what we do here, and every day is a new day and every day is a new project, so it's really fun. I'm going to try and upload a video every Friday, so that way the guys that do follow us, you like watching our stuff, every Friday you're going to get to see a video. Hope you like the one where we introduced Esther to driving the little K-Sight and the Vet. And also, as you see behind me, the high performance Del Sol. This is actually a really cool car. It's 100% stock apart from the wheels and brakes, and runs like a champ. And as you see, this car, the inside, I mean, this car is nuts. I mean, some people say, oh, I don't like it, it looks kind of crazy. It does, but you know what? It's a factory aluminum car with fantastic aerodynamics. We've put full all-wheel drive system in there, a ton of horsepower, and it just puts a smile on your face. So at the end of the day, whether you're racing for quarter-mile times, racing around a track, biggest thing to me is a car gives you enjoyment. If this car makes you excited, gives you just a sense of completion when you finish a car, drive it, you enjoy it. This car, whether you drive a Lamborghini or whatever your car is, if it makes you happy, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. That's always been my big thing. I don't care about how fast it is compared to somebody else's car that you'll never see or never run into on a track. Who cares? If it makes you excited, it's your money, your hard work, you enjoy it, that's what it's about. I'll see you guys the next time.